Okay, in our last lesson, we worked through this chart and we looked at how to find the lateral surface area. Remember, lateral surface area is just the faces of our shape, and it does not include our bases. And so now I want us to look at total surface area. And we've already done a lot of the work, so this is going to be really nice and easy. Okay. So looking at total surface area, the first thing we want to do is, remember, we need to recognize that this is a rectangular prism. We need to make sure we know where the base is. So let's look at our formula charts. On our formula chart, we have surface area. This is a prism, a rectangular prism. Notice this says lateral, and we want total. Total is S equals PH plus 2b. S equals, I already forgot, pH plus 2b. And so I just want to remind you that the capital B P stands for the perimeter of the base. This H, remember, stands for the height of the prism. And remember, the height has to be from base to base. So we already talked about that this right here would be our height from base to base. Okay, we know a capital B, we should know it stands for area of the base. So always really important, we need to know what the shape of our base is. It's a rectangle. We drew a rectangle, our base, so that we could help find the perimeter. So we already have our P. The area formula for our base. Well, we know the base is a rectangle. We have to go find area of a rectangle if you don't know it, and it says A equals BH. Remember, I don't like to say that. I like to say length times width. So if that helps you, think length times width. So our area formula is little bh, or length times width. So we need to actually calculate the area of our base. So we already drew our picture. Our base and our height, or our length and our width, is 2.5 times 3.5. And remember, you don't need to kill yourself trying to multiply that by hand. This is complicated enough. So let's pick up our calculator. Let's do 2.5 times 3.5, which is 8.75. And then we already identified our height as 7.5. So now we've got to put it all together. So I'm going to go back to our formula for our total surface area, for the total surface area. Okay, the P, the perimeter, we said was 12. The height of our figure, we said, is 7.5, so 12 times 7.5 plus 2 times the area of the base. Remember, this is our capital B, so 2 times 8.75. So these are the numbers that we're plugging into our formula. You can do it in pieces, or you can put this in your calculator all at once. You don't have to do it little by little. We can do 12 times 7.5 plus 2 times 8.75, and then hit enter. And we get our total surface area to be 107.5, and it would be meters squared. That is our total surface area. So pause the video for a minute and look at your numbers. Make sure you understand where we got what we got. Okay, for our cylinder, again, this is just a matter of looking at our formula chart and plugging in our formula. So on our formula chart, total surface area of a cylinder, it's a little bit longer. It's 2 pi RH, which is what we did for a lateral, plus, and I don't have room to write it there, 2 pi r squared. So remember, the good thing about a cylinder is we're just filling in the radius and the height. It's as simple as that. So we already said over here that our height of our cylinder that we have right here is 8, and we already said that the radius was 3. So for our total surface area, okay, I'm going to look at the formula. I'm going to say 2 times pi times our radius, which was 3, times the height, which is 8, plus 2 times pi times my radius, which was 3 squared. Now again, you can take this exactly like it is and plug it straight into your calculator. Or if you want to simplify a little bit, because you can do the math, you can do 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. You could do 3 squared if you trust yourself, which would be 9. You can now plug that in if you want. Or you could even go further. You could do 2 times 24 is 48 pi. 2 times 9 is 18 pi. And so now at this point, I would definitely pick up my calculator and I would calculate it. Okay, so 48 pi plus 18 pi, and we get 207 point, we'll say 35. So it's 207.35 centimeters squared. But I want to remind you again, you can plug the formula, the numbers in straight from right here. If you don't want to risk messing up, then plug it in straight like this. And make sure that how it's in your calculator looks exactly like it looks on your paper. Okay, the next one, we have a triangular prism. If you look at your formula chart, there's nothing that says triangular prism. There's just prism. So come over. Notice this is the same as a rectangular prism. But that doesn't mean we do it exactly the same, because our base is a triangle. Perimeter, we have to add up all the sides. The area formula for the base. So now we're talking triangle. So look at your triangle. Area of a triangle. It says 1/2 base times height. 1/2 base times height. Or you could also say base times height divided by 2. Either way would work. Okay, so let's calculate it. Remember that your height has to form a right angle. So see how we have our right angle here? So our height is 6, the base is the 8. Remember, the height and the base are like your legs of the triangle. So area equals 1/2 times 6 times 8. Okay, and the music's about to come on and interrupt me. So we get 24 for the area. And now I'm ready to fill in the formula. The perimeter is 24. Our height of our figure was 16 plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, and so I don't know these numbers. I can do 2 times 24, but I can't do 24 times 16 in my head. 24 times 16 plus 2 times 24 is 432 square yards.